We polished every window, made the surface shine, learned the perfect answers, learned to smile on time. We chased the loudest echoes, ran through crowded streets, built our lives on mirrors, while our hearts skipped beats. Everybody's searching for a stronger hand to hold, for a truth that doesn't vanish when the world turns cold. Some wear golden armor, some hide silent scars, some are lost in daylight, still wishing on the stars. But the deepest kind of freedom doesn't come from looking clean. It begins inside the shadows no one else has seen. When the noise becomes a prison and the pressure steals your name, there's a quiet voice reminding you were never made for chains. Not every shining pathway leads where hope can grow. Not every crowded answer knows the soul below. The strongest hearts are honest, the bravest learn to bend, the ones who change the future. Let the healing first begin. Don't lose yourself pretending, don't trade your soul for praise. A beautiful direction can still be found in haze, because kindness changes history. Truth outlives the night, and a single spark of courage can teach the dark to shine. The world keeps selling empty, fast success and plastic dreams, but peace is built much deeper than the surface of things. There's a river running through you, stronger than your fear, calling you to rise again every time you disappear. You were made for more than proving, more than endless competition, more than chasing validation, more than shallow recognition. There's a fire born within you, not for pride but for repair, to lift the tired and broken, to remind them someone cares. And every hidden motive, every word we choose to say, becomes the road we're building for tomorrow's human way. So guard your inner garden, protect the seeds of light. What grows inside your spirit will become your future sky. Let mercy shape your thinking, let wisdom guide your pace, let compassion be the language that transforms the human race. Even when the storms surround you, even when your strength feels gone, there's a deeper truth alive in you, quietly carrying you on. Not by image, not by status, not by power, not by applause, but by the unseen choices made inside the heart. That's where every ending changes, that's where new worlds start. So breathe beyond the chaos, stand taller than your fear. The future still is waiting, and your purpose still is here. One honest step can heal a family, One brave soul can change a land. One light refusing darkness can awaken billions again. And maybe all the answers were never far away. Maybe hope begins the moment we stop pretending we're okay. So when the night feels endless and the road ahead unclear, remember the strongest kind of freedom always starts in here. City lights are flashing, everybody's moving fast, running toward tomorrow while forgetting what will last. Perfect faces everywhere, perfect words online, but broken hearts are hiding behind every glowing sign. People searching for meaning in a world that changes shape, trying to fill the silence, trying somehow to escape. Some chase endless money, some chase endless fame, some lose who they really are just to fit another name. But truth is never louder because a crowd agrees, and peace was never meant to grow from constant guarantees. There's a deeper kind of wisdom, not bought or sold for gold, a quiet strength inside us greater than what we're told. Because the hardest battles are the ones no eyes can see, the wars inside the spirit, the fight to stay free. It's easy to wear a costume, harder to stay real. Easy to impress the world, harder to truly heal. Some build towers out of ego, some build walls from fear, but love that lifts the hurting is what makes the vision clear. The world may praise appearances, but hearts still know the truth. And even tired souls are searching for something pure in youth. Not another empty promise, not another fading trend, but a light that keeps on rising again and again and again. So when the pressure finds you and doubt becomes your song, remember even rivers become powerful by flowing along. You don't need perfect language, you don't need a perfect past. The strongest kind of beauty is the kind that lasts. A gentle hand can change someone, a small hope can survive. A single word with honesty can bring the soul alive. Every choice becomes a footprint, every thought becomes a seed. What we grow inside tomorrow starts with what we feed. So feed your mind with courage, feed your dreams with grace, feed your future with compassion that no darkness can erase. There are voices selling shortcuts, but shortcuts steal the climb. And every meaningful mountain is conquered one step at a time. Don't let bitterness define you, don't let anger lead your way. Strongest hearts keep building even after pain, because healing is a language the whole world understands. And hope becomes contagious when someone finally stands. Stand for what is honest, stand for what is right, stand for those still searching for a reason to keep light. You were never born to vanish, never made to disappear. There's a purpose in your breathing, a reason you are here. And even in the chaos, even in the storm, there's a quiet force within you, helping you transform. Not through shallow glory, not through empty pride, but through truth that keeps on growing deep inside. So lift your eyes beyond the fear, beyond the endless race. The future people are not the loudest in the room, but the ones who keep believing, even standing in the gloom. The night won't last forever, morning always finds the sky, and every soul still breathing was born again to rise. Everybody wants the spotlight, everybody wants the crown, but nobody talks about the nights when the soul is breaking down. We learned how to fake perfection, learned how to hide the pain, smiling through the chaos, dancing in the rain, scrolling through illusions, comparing every life, trying to find value in a world of endless noise. Some hearts grow tired quietly, some dreams fade unseen, some people carry oceans behind a calm routine. But the truth is not a costume, truth is not a brand. It's the quiet kind of courage to become who you really are again. Not every voice deserves your trust, not every road leads home. Some paths shine for a moment, then leave the spirit cold. There's a deeper kind of vision beyond the temporary high, a fire that keeps burning when every star burns out of the sky. Because what lives inside us eventually will rise, the hidden fears, the secret hopes, the truth behind our eyes. A heart filled with compassion can rebuild a shattered day. A soul that chooses kindness can help the lost find way. The strongest people aren't always loud, they don't always win the race. Sometimes they're simply the ones who still carry love through pain. When anger fills the culture and pride becomes a throne, the world keeps growing crowded, yet more people feel alone. So many searching desperately for purpose they can feel, for something more eternal, for something truly real. Not another empty headline, not another viral name, but a reason to keep breathing when everything has changed. Maybe hope is not a feeling, maybe hope is a decision to keep walking toward the light, even without clear vision. Maybe strength is being gentle in a world that worships force. Maybe greatness is returning to a wiser, higher course. You don't have to be flawless, you don't need to know it all. Even mountains were once broken before they learned to stand tall. Every honest conversation, every time we choose what's right, every unseen act of mercy pushes back against the night, and every hidden motive shapes the roads we travel on. The future isn't built by image, but by what the heart becomes. So protect your inner compass, guard the truth inside your chest. The world can steal attention, but don't let it steal your best. Because peace grows slowly, like sunrise through the rain, and healing often enters through the doorway of pain. One person choosing wisdom can inspire countless more. One life refusing darkness can open brand new doors. So when the pressure screams at you to become somebody fake, remember real foundations are the hardest things to shake. Build your life with honesty, build your dreams with care, build a future full of meaning that world needs hearts awake, people brave enough to love and wise enough to change. So breathe beyond the fear again, let the healing finally start. The brightest future waiting for this world still begins inside the heart. We grew up chasing numbers, views, reactions, names, trying to win 1,000 eyes inside 2,000,000 games. Everybody wants attention, everybody wants to shine, but empty rooms still echo in the middle of the night. We learned to wear expressions that hide what we became, built entire identities around approval and praise. But deep inside the silence, a question still remains. What if the strongest version of us can't be measured by fame? What if real success is kindness? What if peace is being true? What if changing one lost heart is the greatest thing we do? The world keeps spinning faster, more pressure every day. People drowning quietly while pretending they're okay. Some are carrying burdens too heavy to explain, smiling in the daylight while fighting storms of pain. And maybe that's the reason we need more honest souls, people strong enough to heal instead of needing control. Because words become directions and thoughts become design. Every hidden choice inside us shapes the future over time. A bitter heart was prisons, a selfish heart was cold, but compassion turns strangers into stories worth being told. There's a voice beyond the chaos, beyond the fear and pride, calling every tired soul to something deeper inside. Not another shallow victory, not another empty trend, but wisdom that keeps standing when temporary things all end. You don't need to be the loudest to become a guiding light. Even stars shine quietly, yet still transform the night. One moment full of courage can redirect a life. One decision full of mercy can end generations of strife. So don't become the darkness you were trying to escape, and don't lose your true reflection trying to imitate. The strongest roots grow hidden before the branches rise, and every meaningful future starts unseen inside. Protect your peace from poison, protect your dreams from fear. Not every voice deserves a seat inside your atmosphere. There are people breaking slowly from the pressure to perform, trying to survive the noise, trying to stay warm. Maybe what this world is missing is not more perfect plans, but hearts that still remember how to truly understand. To listen before speaking, to live before judging, to love before dividing, to build before destroying. Because truth survives the fire and goodness leaves a mark. Even the smallest candle can challenge endless dark. So when the road feels heavy and your strength begins to fade, remember mountains are still mountains, even covered up by rain. Your story still has meaning, your future still has room, and hope still grows in silence long before it fully blooms. Maybe the greatest power was never force at all. Maybe it was choosing to rise every time we fall. To rise with wiser thinking, to rise with open eyes, to rise with hearts still willing the applause is gone, long after trends all fade. The lives we healed with honesty will be the legacy we made. Sure. Everybody's building something, a future, a name, a dream, trying to find a reason. In a world of constant speed, screens are always glowing, voices never sleep, people chasing validation while their hearts sink deep. We learned how to look successful, learned how to play the part, but no filter in existence can hide an empty heart. Some wear confidence like armor, some laugh to mask the pain, some keep smiling for the crowd while breaking in the rain. And somewhere in the silence, beyond the endless race, there's a quiet truth still waiting for the human soul to face. Because what grows inside us eventually will lead every action, every habit, every planted seed. Fear can build a prison, pride can make us blind, but wisdom opens pathways for the healing of mankind. Not every trend is progress, not every loud voice knows. Sometimes truth is planted softly and slowly learns to grow. You don't need to be perfect to become a light. Even wounded stars still shine across the darkest nights. The world doesn't need more actors pretending they're okay. It needs honest hearts with courage, choosing better ways, choosing love over anger, choosing peace over hate, choosing to keep building even when it feels late. 'Cause every generation becomes what it repeats, and every careless word can turn into 1,000 streets. So guard your inner vision, protect your way of thought. The battles that define us most are often never caught. There are people losing hope now, tired of all the noise, tired of empty promises and artificial joys. They don't need another image, they don't need another show. They need something real enough to help their spirits grow. Maybe strength is listening, maybe power is grace, maybe changing the whole world starts one heart in one place. One person lifting someone, one soul refusing lies, one voice speaking kindness can awaken sleeping lives. So don't become what hurt you, don't pass the pain ahead. Break the cycle, change the story, plant new roads instead. Roads where mercy still matters, roads where truth survives, roads where people learn again how to truly feel alive. And even if the journey feels impossible to climb, every mountain ever conquered was one step at a time. There's still beauty in the human soul, still goodness left to find, still people brave enough to love in a cold and fractured time. So breathe beyond the pressure, let your spirit realign. You were made for deeper things than applause that fades with time. Made to bring hope to the hopeless, made to help the weak stand tall, made to become a doorway where light can reach us. by the proud who only take, but by souls who choose compassion every single day. So when the world feels heavy and the night feels far too long, remember, the deepest kind of strength is the courage to move on. Dirty. We learned to paint our shadows in colors bright and gold. Learned how to look fearless even when our hearts felt cold. Everybody's performing under invisible lights, trying to appear unbreakable through endless days and nights. But behind every perfect picture, behind every polished smile, there's a human soul still searching for something real the whole while. Searching for a reason, searching for a sign, searching for a deeper truth that time cannot unwind. Because appearances can fool us, and noise can steal our peace, but empty hands still tremble when the applause all leaves. The world keeps selling shortcuts, fast success and instant fame, but a life without true meaning still feels empty all the same. Some people build their kingdoms on status, power, pride, yet lose themselves completely somewhere deep inside. And maybe real direction is quieter than we thought. Maybe wisdom grows slowly through battles deeply fought. Maybe the strongest people are not those standing tall, but the ones who keep choosing love after they've seen it all. There's a hidden world within us where every thought begins, where bitterness can grow roots or healing can enter in. What we feed inside our spirit will shape the path we take. The future starts in secret long before the world can see it wake. So guard your heart from hatred, guard your mind from lies. Not every shining promise leads to better skies. Some roads look good in daylight, but leave the soul alone. Some victories feel hollow when kindness is unknown. You don't need another mask now, you don't need another role. The world is desperate for people who are honest in their soul. Honest when they're hurting, honest when they're hurting, honest when they fall, honest when they fall, honest enough to keep growing through the rise and after all. Because healing changes families, and truth can change a land. One brave and gentle spirit can help millions understand that peace is not pretending, and strength is not control. The greatest kind of freedom begins within the soul. So when the pressure traps you and fear becomes your chain, remember every sunrise was born through darkest rain. You were made for more than surviving, more than sympathy. Roads of compassion over ego, roads of wisdom over greed, roads where people finally learn what humanity truly needs. Not more empty attention, not more temporary fame, but hearts courageous enough to love and change. So breathe beyond the chaos, lift your eyes again. The strongest light within this world still rises from within. And even if your journey feels heavy in the night, a single soul still choosing good can become a city full of light. The world keeps getting louder, every second, every day. Everybody wants attention, but few know what to say. We fill our rooms with echoes, we fill our minds with speed, chasing things that sparkle, ignoring what we need. Some wear success like diamonds, some hide behind the screen, some smile for every camera while drowning silently unseen. We learn to fear being honest, to hide what we became, to trade our deepest values for temporary praise and fame. But somewhere past the pressure, past the noise and endless show, there's a quiet kind of wisdom, a heart that still knows that love is stronger than anger dressed in pride, knows that peace grows slowly deep inside, knows that every careless action leaves a mark through time, and every hidden motive shapes the human mind. Because the greatest battles are not always outside, sometimes they live in secret, where truth and fear collide. A jealous heart grows restless, a selfish heart grows cold, but compassion turns ordinary lives into stories worth being told. The world keeps offering shortcuts, quick applause and easy lies, but shallow roads grow empty under artificial skies. You were never made for hollow, never made to simply blend. You were born with something deeper, a light the dark can end. So when the culture tells you that image matters most, remember empty castles still become ghosts. And when comparison steals joy and fear begins to rise, remember storms don't last forever. Even across the darkest skies, there are people losing hope now, trying hard to stand, waiting for someone with courage to finally understand. Not judge them from a distance, not leave them in the pain, but remind them they are human and can rise again. Because healing is contagious and mercy travels far. One honest soul can become a million brighter stars. One voice speaking kindness can calm another storm. One life choosing wisdom can help the world transform. So protect your inner compass, don't let bitterness take root. The strongest trees survive because their foundations hold the truth. Feed your thoughts with purpose, feed your spirit with light, feed your future with compassion that outlives every night. You don't need perfect answers, answers. You don't need perfect plans. Sometimes the greatest miracles begin with open hands. Hands that help the fallen, hands that build again, hands that choose forgiveness even after pain. Maybe that's the future this wounded world still needs. Not louder voices shouting, but hearts planting better seeds. Seeds of hope in darkness, seeds of peace and fear, seeds of peace and fear, seeds of truth and courage for every coming year. So breathe beyond the chaos, walk beyond the doubt. The strongest kind of power comes from the inside out. And even when the road feels long and the weight feels hard to bear, a heart that still knows goodness will always find its way somewhere, somewhere.
Everybody's trying to be seen, trying to outrun time, posting pieces of their lives like everything is fine. The city never closes, the screens are always bright, but lonely souls keep wandering through artificial light. Some are chasing greatness, some are chasing escape, some are building perfect masks to hide the fear they face. We learn how to impress people, learn how to win the room, but nobody really taught us how to heal the hidden wounds. And somewhere underneath it all, beneath the rushing rays, there's a quiet voice still calling us back to a better place. A place where truth still matters, where kindness still survives, where people are remembered by the hearts they help revive. Because the world can't praise appearances and celebrate the loud, but peace is often growing far away from crowds. The strongest roots stay hidden deep beneath the ground, and the most meaningful direction is rarely the easiest found. Some people lose themselves trying to become enough, working through exhaustion, pretending to stay tough. But value was never measured by how much we achieve. Sometimes the strongest courage is simply to still believe. Believe that scars can heal, believe that hope returns, believe that even broken hearts still have light that burns. You don't need another title, you don't need another disguise. The future needs more honesty, more open eyes. Eyes that see the hurting, eyes that choose to care, eyes that recognize the pain so many people wear. Because every hidden struggle carries unseen weight. One moment full of compassion can completely change a fate. A gentle word can rebuild someone, a small light can lead, a single act of goodness can become what others need. So guard your soul from bitterness, guard your mind from pride. Not every road that shines leads somewhere alive. Some victories leave emptiness, some applause disappears, but truth keeps standing steady through the changing years. And maybe all this chaos, all this fear and division is calling for a generation with vision. People who choose wisdom when anger fills the air. People who keep loving even when life feels unfair. People who build bridges instead of building walls. People who still rise again after every fall. Because healing starts in silence long before the world can see. And freedom often begins when we choose who we will be. Not controlled by envy, not consumed by greed, but guided by compassion and a higher kind of peace. So when the noise fades away and all the crowds are gone, what remains inside your spirit will still keep leading on. Let it be something honest, let it be something bright, a heart that keeps on choosing good even in the darkest night. And maybe the reason we are here is greater than success. Maybe life becomes most beautiful when we help others breathe again. Hey. We were born into a world always moving, never still. Everybody climbing mountains, few asking what is real. Lights flashing through the skyline, voices fighting to be heard. Millions speaking constantly, yet missing deeper words. Some people build their image, some people hide their pain. Some walk through crowded places, feeling invisible again. We learn to chase perfection, to fear slowing down, to measure human value by attention from the crowd. But no amount of applause can heal an empty soul, and no amount of success can make a broken spirit whole. Because somewhere underneath the surface, beyond the endless race, there's a quiet longing in us for truth we cannot replace. A longing to feel meaning, a longing to belong, a longing for a deeper hope that keeps us standing strong. The world keeps selling noise, fast pleasure, quick escape, but temporary answers still leave hearts afraid. Afraid of being forgotten, afraid of being alone, afraid that all the effort still won't feel like home. But maybe real strength isn't louder, maybe wisdom isn't fame. Maybe changing this whole world begins with how we change, how we speak to one another, how we choose to understand, how we lift the tired people too exhausted to still stand. Because every unseen kindness leaves a mark beyond our eyes, and every act of mercy keeps humanity alive. One person choosing patience can calm a storm of rage. One soul refusing hatred can shift an entire age. So don't let anger own you, don't let pride decide. The darkest wars are often fought deep inside. Inside the human spirit, inside the wounded heart, where bitterness can slowly grow or healing can restart. You were never made for emptiness, never born to just survive. There's a fireplace within you meant to help the world revive. A fire built from courage, a fire built from grace, a fire that keeps shining even in the hardest place. And when the pressure tells you to become somebody fake, remember every lasting mountain took time and pain to make. The strongest rivers keep flowing even through the stone, and the deepest kind of purpose is rarely walked alone. There are people searching now for hope that still feels true, looking for a reason to keep making it through.
Maybe your kindness is the answer. Maybe your light can lead. Maybe the words you almost never said are exactly what they need. So plant better seeds in this world. Speak life when others tear apart. Build futures full of honesty. Build them from the heart, because the future doesn't belong to those who only take. It belongs to souls courageous enough to love, forgive, and wake. Wake beyond the noise again. Wake beyond the fear. Wake to the quiet truth inside that brought your spirit here. And even when the road feels endless and hope feels far away, the fire we carry inside ourselves can still light up the way. Somewhere between the midnight cities and the glow of endless screens, people are still searching for what life truly means. Running through the pressure, breathing fast through crowded days, trying not to lose themselves inside 1,000 different ways. Everybody wants connection, everybody wants peace, but hearts grow tired pretending the noise will finally cease. Some carry hidden questions, some carry silent pain, some smile like sunshine outwardly while drowning in the rain. We learned how to keep moving even when our souls felt weak. Learned how to hide exhaustion before anybody speaks. But beneath the surface chaos, beyond the race for more, there's a quiet truth still knocking at every human door, reminding us that value was never built on fame, and purpose isn't measured by applause attached to names. Because the strongest kind of beauty cannot be bought or staged. It grows through honest moments and wisdom born with age. A gentle spirit changes atmospheres, a kind word changes nights. One person full of compassion can help another rise. The world keeps feeding anger, division, fear, and pride. Yet people everywhere are longing for something deeper inside. Something real enough to trust, strong enough to last. A light that doesn't disappear when temporary moments pass. You don't need to become colder to survive this generation, and you don't need to lose your heart to earn admiration. The future needs more healers, more voices calm and wise, more people brave enough to look beyond the disguise. Because every hidden motive shapes the road ahead, and every thought we entertain becomes the life we spread. So protect your inner peace, protect your way of seeing. The world has changed forever by the kind of human we're becoming. Becoming more forgiving, becoming more aware, becoming strong enough to choose love even there, even in betrayal, even after loss, even when the weight of life feels impossibly hard to cross. Because strength is not pretending that nothing leaves a scar. Strength is carrying hope anyway, no matter where you are. And maybe all the brokenness this world keeps going through is creating hearts awaken to something pure and true. A generation tired of fake things, tired of empty noise, ready to rediscover meaning beyond temporary joys. Ready to build with honesty, ready to heal again, ready to become the kind of light that darkness cannot end. So when the road feels uncertain and fear begins Even when covered by clouds and mist, your story still matters deeply. Your future still unfolds, and every soul still breathing carries more than they've been told. You were made for growth, made for vision, made for hope that never dies, made to become a reason. Another tired soul survives, so breathe beyond the pressure, walk beyond the fear. The world still needs your kindness, the reason you are here. And maybe life's greatest victory is not becoming known by all, but becoming someone who still lifts others every time they fall. The world keeps spinning faster. Every headline, every sound. People trying hard to stand out while feeling lost in crowds. We chase the next distraction, the next thing shining bright. But tired hearts still wonder why peace feels out of sight. Some wear confidence like fashion, some build walls no one can see. Some spend years becoming strangers to who they used to be. We learned how to hide weakness, learned how to wear control, but no perfect outer image can silence an aching soul. Because somewhere in the silence, beyond ambition and fear, there's a deeper voice still calling, reminding us why we're here. Not just to collect attention, not just to survive the race, but to leave behind compassion that time cannot erase. The strongest kind of power is not force without end. It's the courage to stay gentle in a world that loves to bend. To speak with honesty when lies become the trend. To keep building bridges when others divide again. Every word becomes an echo, every action leaves a trace, and every hidden choice inside us shapes the future human face. Anger spreads like wildfire, pride can blind the wise, but kindness has a quiet strength that never truly dies. One person choosing patience can stop a storm from growing. One heart refusing bitterness can keep the healing flowing. So don't lose yourself to pressure, don't trade your peace for fame. The loudest voices in history are not always the ones remembered by name. Sometimes it's the unseen people who change the world the most, the ones who lift the broken when hope feels like a ghost, the ones who stay beside you when everything falls apart, the ones who speak life softly into a wounded heart. Because healing often starts small, like sunrise through the rain, and wisdom is usually born through seasons marked by pain. You don't need all the answers to begin becoming light. Even stars truly cares. Maybe your kindness matters more than you will ever know. Maybe the seeds you plant today will become forests as they grow. So protect your inner vision, guard what fills your mind. The things we nurture secretly become the lives we find. Feed your soul with purpose, feed your future with truth. Feed your spirit with compassion that renews the strength of youth. And when disappointment finds you, when the road becomes unclear, remember rivers keep moving forward year after year. You were not made for emptiness. You were not born to fade. There's a quiet fire within you that hardship cannot break. A fire made for lifting others, a fire made for hope, a fire that keeps rising higher, even on difficult roads. So breathe beyond the chaos, stand taller than your fear. The world still needs more people who remember why they're here. And maybe the greatest legacy will never be wealth or fame, but becoming the kind of soul that leaves this world more healed than changed. Changed. Another morning in the city, another race against the clock. People carrying heavy stories behind every passing thought. Some are smiling through exhaustion, some are fighting just to stand. Some are searching for tomorrow with trembling hearts and shaking hands. We learn to keep emotions hidden, to survive the modern pace, to wear strength like a uniform while fear lived in our face. Everybody wants belonging, everybody wants to matter, but too many souls are breaking under pressure and disaster. The world keeps raising louder voices, bigger screens and brighter lies, but truth still whispers quietly to the ones who truly try. Try to love without condition, try to heal instead of harm, try to become a safe place in a world losing warmth. Because what grows inside a person will someday overflow. Bitterness becomes destruction, but compassion helps us grow. And every unseen choice we make shapes the road ahead. The words we speak in anger, or the hope we choose instead. Some people build with kindness, some destroy through fear, some become a light for others simply by staying near. You don't need to be famous to change another life. Sometimes the strongest miracle is helping someone survive the night. A conversation full of honesty, a hand that doesn't let go, a heart still willing to listen can heal more than we know. The strongest souls are not always loud, not always first in line. Sometimes they are the people who keep helping others shine. The ones who still choose patience when the world becomes unfair. The ones who keep believing love is stronger than despair. Because anger multiplies status, more than temporary applause, more than all the empty chasing that leaves the spirit lost. There's a deeper kind of freedom waiting underneath the noise, a life built not on ego but on wiser, stronger choices. Choices shaped by mercy, choices guided by truth, choices that leave behind a better future for our youth. So guard your inner garden, be careful what you feed. Every thought becomes a direction, every habit becomes a seed. Plant hope when others panic, plant courage when they fear, plant kindness in the darkness and watch new paths appear. And when your own heart grows weary, when the night feels hard to cross, remember stars are still shining even through the storm and loss. You were made for more than surviving, more than carrying pain. There's a reason you are breathing, a purpose in your name, to lift the tired and forgotten, to remind them they can rise, to become a living answer for the tears behind their eyes. So breathe beyond the chaos, walk forward through the rain. The people who keep choosing love will never walk in vain. And maybe the greatest change on earth will not begin with power above, but with ordinary people who still believe in hope and love. Another day beneath the skyline, another 1,000 rushing feet, people searching for direction in endless moving streets. Everybody's building something, a future, a dream, a name. Try not to disappear inside the pressure of the game. Some are hiding disappointment, some are hiding fear, some are carrying silent storms no one else can hear. We learn to celebrate appearances, to chase what shines the most, but empty hearts still wander like shadows turn to ghosts. Because truth was never shallow and peace was never loud, the deepest kind of wisdom rarely stands before the crowd. It grows in quiet moments, in choices no one sees, in learning how to stay kind when life brings us to our knees. The world keeps pushing harder, more anger, more divide, yet people everywhere are longing for something real inside, something stronger than attention, stronger than success, a hope that keeps on breathing through failure and distress. You don't need to become colder to survive the pain of life, and you don't need perfect answers to become a guiding light. Sometimes strength is patience, sometimes courage is to stay, sometimes healing starts the moment we stop running away, away from all the brokenness, away from hidden scars, away from the quiet emptiness that chasing stars, because every human spirit carries both dark and light. And every day we choose which one will shape our path tonight. Bitterness builds prisons, compassion builds new roads. Pride can blind the strongest minds, but mercy lifts the soul. One word can heal a lifetime. One act can change a heart. One person brave enough to care can help the world restart. So protect your inner vision. Guard what fills your mind. The things we constantly consume become what we leave behind. Feed your soul with honesty. Feed your thoughts with grace. Feed your future with the kind of love that hatred can erase. There are people waiting silently for hope they can believe, searching for a reason not to give up and leave. Maybe your kindness matters more than you will ever know. Maybe the smallest light you carry helps another person grow. Because healing spreads quietly like dawn across the sea, and every soul still choosing good keeps the world more free. Free from endless pretending, free from empty pride, free to become the person we were meant to find inside. And when your journey feels heavy, when fear becomes the night, remember every sunrise was once hidden from sight. You were made for meaning, made for deeper things, made to help the hurting, made to help hope sing. So walk beyond the surface, walk beyond applause. The future still belongs to hearts that stand for something more. And maybe the greatest victory won't be riches, fame, or power, but becoming someone who brings peace to another darkest hour.
The streets are full of people, but loneliness still grows. Millions talking every second, yet nobody truly knows the weight behind the smiles, the fear behind the eyes, the silent wars so many fight while pretending they're alright. We learn to chase perfection, to never let scars show, to keep performing endlessly even when our hearts feel low. Everybody wants a future, everybody wants to win, but the hardest battles in this life always start within. Within the thoughts we entertain, within the words we choose, within the hidden parts of us we're terrified to lose. Because anger changes nations and pride can break a home, but kindness has the power to help the lost belong. The world keeps pushing faster, more pressure every year. People drowning quietly in exhaustion, doubt and fear. Some are searching for purpose, some are searching for peace. Some just need a single voice to help the pain release. Or maybe real greatness was never fame at all. Maybe it's becoming the person who still helps others stand tall. The one who keeps forgiving, the one who keeps hope alive, the one who keeps choosing light when darkness says divide.
Because every small decision creates another way, and every seed of mercy can outlive 1,000 days. You don't need to be perfect, you don't need to know it all. Even the tallest mountains were once stone small enough to fall. Strength is not pretending that nothing leaves a scar. Strength is carrying wisdom through the pain of who we are. The strongest hearts stay open even after disappointment. The wisest souls keep building even after destruction. So protect your inner peace, protect your deeper vision. The future is created first by unseen decisions. Decisions made in silence when nobody applauds. The moments where true character quietly is formed. Will we become more bitter? Will we become more blind? Or will we become the people who help restore mankind? Because the world doesn't need more noise, more ego, more disguise. It needs more hearts courageous enough to speak truth with gentle eyes. More people lifting burdens, more hands refusing hate, more souls choosing compassion before it becomes too late. And when your own road feels uncertain, when the night becomes severe, remember storms cannot erase the reason you are here. You are made to bring healing, made to bring new light, made to remind exhausted hearts they still can rise and fight. Not with anger, not with violence, not with endless pride, but with wisdom, truth, and mercy growing deep inside. So breathe beyond the pressure, walk forward through the rain. The people who keep loving deeply will never live in vain. And maybe where real change begins is not in power above, but in ordinary souls deciding to live again with love.
Another sunrise fills the skyline, another chance to start again. People carrying unseen stories through the chaos of the wind. Some are tired from pretending, some are worn from silent pain. Some are trying just to keep hope alive through seasons filled with rain. We grew up learning how to achieve, how to compete and climb, but nobody taught us clearly how to protect the heart and mind. Everybody wants meaning, something real enough to trust, because empty success still crumbles when life turns hard on us. The world keeps chasing faster answers, bigger names and brighter lights, but broken souls still wander through endless restless nights. And maybe what we're missing is simpler than we know. Maybe healing starts the moment we let compassion grow. 'Cause every thought becomes a pathway, every word becomes a spark, and every act of kindness pushes back against the dark. A bitter spirit spreads a vision, a selfish soul grows cold, but mercy builds foundations that outlive silver and gold. The strongest
You don't need perfect strength, you don't need perfect plans. Sometimes changing one life is how transformation truly begins. One gentle voice in anger, one calm light in fear, one honest soul refusing hate can change the atmosphere. Because healing travels farther than we often realize, and every person choosing good helps another person rise. So guard what shapes your thinking, guard what fills your soul. The things we constantly embrace become the roads we hold. Feed your life with wisdom, feed your future with grace, feed your spirit with compassion that time cannot erase. There are people losing courage, trying not to break apart, waiting for a sign of hope in this exhausted world of hearts. Maybe your kindness is that answer. Maybe your words can heal. Maybe your quiet presence can remind them life is real. Not just endless striving, not just pressure every day, but moments full of meaning that never fade away. Because peace is built in silence long before the world can see, and true change always rises first inside humanity, inside the hidden choices, inside the unseen fight, inside the soul still choosing love even in the darkest night. And when your own journey feels heavy, when the future seems unclear, remember every dawn in history first began in darkness here. You were made for more than surviving, more than temporary fame. You were made to leave behind a brighter human way, a way of truth and courage, a way of hope and grace, a way that helps the broken find strength enough to face another day, another mountain, another chance to rise, another opportunity to become a light in someone's eyes. So walk beyond the fear now, walk beyond the noise. The future still belongs to hearts who make compassionate choices. And maybe in the end, the greatest thing we do is leave behind more light and hope than the world once gave to you. When the night feels longer than the city lights, and the noise of the world keeps stealing your mind, there's a quiet truth moving through the dark, like a hidden river flowing through your heart. Every fallen drop knows where to go, every small seed carries life below. Even the winds that bend the trees are teaching tired souls how to breathe. Nothing spoken in hope is ever lost, nothing planted in love returns undone. The sky keeps writing promises in rain, and every storm prepares the fields again. So don't give up when the road feels slow. Mountains move where patience grows. Every dream that refuses to die is a spark the universe still keeps alive. The rain never falls for nothing, the dawn never breaks by chance. Every moment carries meaning, every step becomes a path. You were not made to fade away, not born just to survive the days. There's a fire waking up inside, calling you toward the other side. When the world says wait and your heart says run, when the shadows whisper you're not the one, remember the oceans were filled one drop at a time, and every masterpiece began unseen in the mind. empty ground still holds tomorrow. The deepest pain can shape new strength. What feels buried may be growing. Roots reach farther in the rain. So lift your eyes beyond the fear, beyond the pressure, beyond the tears. The future listens to the words you repeat. Truth becomes the road beneath your feet. Speak life into your broken places. Speak light into forgotten spaces. The voice of hope is stronger still than every doubt trying to stand against your will. Every sunrise carries a message. Every heartbeat holds a reason. Even silence has direction. Even waiting has a season. You are closer than you think to the moment everything changes. One brave step, one clear decision. One more time, refusing to quit. The rain never falls for nothing. The wind never moves in vain. Every unseen act of kindness returns again and again. The seeds of courage multiply. The seeds of truth survive the fire. And what is planted with purpose will rise higher and higher. Maybe your story feels unfinished. Maybe your hands feel empty now. But forests once slept inside small seeds, and greatness often starts unseen somehow. So keep building, keep learning, keep choosing the brighter road. The future belongs to hearts that still believe after the storm. There's a voice beyond confusion, a light beyond the endless scroll. A deeper rhythm calling people back to what can heal the soul. Not everything valuable is loud. Not everything true demands attention. Sometimes the strongest power arrives in quiet direction. Like rain upon dry ground, like rivers filling empty lands. Hope keeps moving forward, even through unseen hands. And one day you'll look behind at every hard and lonely mile and realize the storms you feared were growing strength all the while. Nothing spoken in truth is wasted. Nothing given in love disappears. The universe remembers every good thing, even after years and years. So walk forward with vision, carry kindness like a flame. The smallest light in darkness can still change everything. The rain never falls for nothing. The dawn never wakes alone. Every word with purpose finds a place to grow. There's a sound beneath the chaos, underneath the rushing trains, past the endless notifications, past the pressure and the pain. A quiet voice keeps saying, don't stop here. Even when the road is heavy, even when the sky's unclear. Because every season carries meaning. Even winters prepare the ground. And every heart that keeps believing will hear tomorrow calling loud. Some people chase the spotlight, some people chase applause, but the strongest souls keep walking. Even without rewards, they plant invisible gardens inside forgotten days. Small acts of truth and kindness that slowly change the way. Nothing good is ever wasted. No honest dream disappears. Every word that lifts another echoes farther through the years. Like rain upon the dry earth, like rivers to the sea. Purpose keeps moving forward, quietly, faithfully. So don't be afraid of small beginnings. Mountains rise from dust, and oceans are built from countless drops, one moment at a time. Through trust, the world may feel divided, cold screens and distant eyes, but deep inside every person still lives a need for light, a need for something real, something stronger than the trend, a truth that doesn't vanish when the moment finally ends. So build your life with meaning, choose courage over fear. The future belongs to people who still care enough to hear the call beyond the noise, hear the dream beyond survival. There's more to life than simply making it. You were made for revival, not fame, not endless riches, not temporary attention online, but a life that leaves behind hope for another soul to find. The rain never asks for credit, the sunrise never competes, yet both keep changing the whole world without demanding to be seen. Be like that steady river, be like that patient flame, strong enough to warm the darkness without needing praise or fame. And when your strength feels broken, when your plans begin to fall, remember forests survive storms by learning how to bend, not crawl. Every setback holds wisdom, every scar can shape new vision. Even shattered roads can lead you toward a better destination. Maybe right now you feel behind, watching others move ahead, but timing shapes the strongest stories. Not every flower blooms the same. Some seeds rise in springtime, some wait the colder years, yet both still carry beauty, both still persevere. So breathe through the uncertainty, walk through the unknown. The stars still shine above you, even when they're hidden by smoke. You are not forgotten, your efforts still matter. The smallest spark of goodness can outlive every disaster. One honest voice can heal a room, one kind hand can change a day, one brave decision in the darkness can lead 1,000 hearts a better way. That's how tomorrow grows, quietly, patiently, one seed at a time. And every dream planted in truth will find the strength to rise. So keep moving with vision, keep speaking life with grace. The world is changed forever by people who refuse to hate. The rain still falls with purpose, the earth still answers the sky, and every good thing planted deeply will rise again in time. March. The world keeps spinning faster, everybody's chasing something. Golden lights across the skyline, hearts still quietly wondering, is there more than endless racing? More than proving who we are, more than counting empty numbers while forgetting where hearts start. Somewhere beyond the pressure, beyond the fear to fail, there's a deeper kind of living that the strongest souls still chase. Not built on temporary moments, not built on borrowed fame, but on truth that keeps standing even when the whole world changes. Like rain falling on dry valleys, like sunlight breaking gray. Purpose finds the broken places and slowly makes a way. Nothing real is ever wasted. No act of love disappears. Every word that heals another echoes far beyond the years. So when the road feels endless and your strength begins to fade, remember even mighty rivers started as drops of rain. Every dream begins unseen. Every future starts small. The tallest trees in history once stood invisible to all. Don't let the silence fool you. Growth happens underground. Sometimes the greatest transformations never make a sound. While everybody's shouting, trying hard to be known, the deepest truths still whisper, calling lost hearts home. Home to peace beyond confusion. Home to hope beyond fear. Home to a life with meaning, where the vision becomes clear. Maybe that's why storms arrive, not only to break apart, but sometimes to clear the noise and rebuild the human heart. Because diamonds form in pressure and courage forms in pain. The strongest souls are often shaped by walking through the rain. So hold on through the waiting, hold on through uncertain nights. The sunrise never asks permission before it floods the earth with light. You were made for more than survival, more than endless scrolling days. There's a fire hidden deep inside you, still waiting to awake. A vision stronger than failure, a hope stronger than fear. A truth no darkness can silence, no matter how it appears. And maybe you don't see it yet. Maybe the road still bends, but every step with purpose leads somewhere greater in the end. The rain never falls for nothing. The wind never moves in vain. Every season carries wisdom. Every loss can lead to gain. Even broken roads teach direction. Even closed doors shape the way. Sometimes what feels like an ending is the start of brighter days. So speak life when others mock it. Choose kindness when hate feels loud. Be the calm inside the chaos. Be the light that stands out in crowds. The world remembers people who heal instead of destroy, who carry peace into confusion, who build instead of avoid. Not every hero wears glory. Not every giant is seen. Sometimes the strongest impact comes through living quietly clean. One person choosing truth can inspire thousands more. One heart refusing bitterness can open brand new doors. So keep planting hope daily. Keep walking with clear eyes, because every seed of goodness still reaches toward the sky. And one day all the hidden work, all the unseen sacrifice will bloom into something beautiful at exactly the right time. The world may celebrate noise, but eternity remembers truth. And every word planted with purpose will continue bearing fruit. So walk beyond the fear, beyond the trends and lies. There's still a better future waiting for hearts brave enough to rise. Late at night in crowded cities, neon shadows fill the streets. People searching for a reason, running fast on tired feet. Everybody wants an answer, something real they can believe. More than temporary pleasures, more than things that quickly leave. Behind the glass and glowing screens, behind the filters and applause, there's a quiet hunger rising, asking what this life is for. And somewhere in the falling rain, a deeper message still remains. Every drop keeps whispering softly, nothing alive grows without the rain. The broken fields become the strongest after seasons dry and long. And hearts that walk through pain with courage often learn a deeper song. So if your world feels heavy now, if your plans have fallen apart, maybe the storm against you. Maybe it's rebuilding your heart, because seeds don't fear the darkness, they grow there silently. And rivers don't begin as oceans, they begin invisibly. One small hope, one brave decision, one more step when strength feels gone. That's how mountains slowly move, that's how weak hearts become strong. The world keeps teaching people to compare and compete, but peace was never hiding in proving who we be. Real strength is choosing kindness when bitterness feels easier. Real vision is still believing when disappointment feels clearer. The rain never asked for attention, the sunrise never demands praise. Yet both keep changing everything in quiet, faithful ways. So become like steady water, become like faithful light. Keep showing up with goodness even through the darkest nights. You may never fully realize how many lives you touch. Sometimes one honest sentence can heal someone enough to keep on going, enough to rise again, enough to believe tomorrow still holds beauty ahead. And maybe that's the hidden power inside every truthful word. It travels farther than we imagine, long after it is heard. Like rain returning to the earth, like rivers reaching seas. Purpose always finds completion, even when unseen. Nothing planted in sincerity ever truly fades away. Love leaves fingerprints forever, long after passing days. So don't despise small beginnings, don't underestimate today. Great forest once slept quietly inside seeds hidden away. And don't be afraid of waiting, the stars arrive on time. Even the moon understands how to shine through changing skies. The pressure you are feeling may become your greatest strength. The tears you thought were weakness may reveal your deepest depth. Because storms teach roots to deepen, and hard roads teach hearts to see. The true success is not possessions, but becoming who you're meant to be. A soul filled with compassion, a mind anchored in truth, a voice that brings direction to those searching for proof. Proof that light still matters, proof that hope survives, proof that goodness still has power in a complicated life. So when tomorrow feels uncertain and fear knocks at your door, remember what the rain was saying: you were made for something more. More than fear, more than limits, more than what the crowd believes. There's a greater future growing inside the heart that doesn't leave. The rain keeps falling with purpose, the earth keeps answering above, and every life rooted in truth will bloom again with love. Somewhere between the silence and the noise of everyday life, a tired heart keeps searching for a reason to keep trying. Bills to pay, dreams delayed, eyes exhausted from the glow. Everybody smiling online while carrying storms nobody knows. But even in the middle of confusion, even when the sky turns gray, there's a quiet force still moving, guiding lost hearts on the way. Like rain falling on empty ground, like rivers carving stone. Purpose works in hidden places long before the results are shown. Nothing honest is ever wasted, no faithful step disappears. Every word spoken with kindness lies far beyond the years. The world may celebrate often born in hearts no spotlight names. A mother praying through the midnight, a worker pushing through the pain, a dreamer building slowly, though success hasn't come again. These are the unseen heroes, still standing after storms, still planting seeds of goodness while the whole world transforms. And maybe growth looks different than what we've been taught to chase. Maybe greatness is becoming someone filled with truth and grace. Not just wealth without direction, not applause that fades away, but a life that leaves behind hope in every soul it meets someday. Because rain does not choose favorites, it falls on mountains and streets. And every heart has moments when strength feels incomplete, but dry seasons never last forever. Winter always leaves in time, and buried seeds still carry forests hidden deep inside their design. So breathe when life feels heavy, rest when your soul feels worn. The sunrise never rushes, yet somehow it is always born. One day at a time, one step at a time, one small act of courage repeated can completely change a life. Don't underestimate persistence, water shapes even stone. And people who keep moving forward eventually become strong. The road may twist unexpectedly, the answers may arrive late, but sometimes delays protect us from walking into the wrong fate. So trust the unseen process, trust the growth you cannot measure. Some roots grow deeper underground before reaching beautiful weather. And if tears fall tonight, let them fall without shame. Rain has always been part of how the earth learns to change. Some wounds become wisdom, some endings become release. Some losses clear the pathway toward a deeper kind of peace. That's why hope still matters even in uncertain years, because light becomes more visible when surrounded by the dark. Out here you were never meant to surrender to bitterness or fear. There's still a voice inside you calling something greater near. A future filled with purpose, a life that carries light, a heart that keeps choosing kindness even after hardest nights. So one day you will realize the storm was not your end, it was shaping your foundation, teaching broken places how to mend. The rain never falls for nothing, the wind never moves in vain. Everything alive keeps growing somehow through the rain. So keep planting dreams with patience, keep speaking words that heal. The future is still listening to every hope that's real. And though the world feels restless, truth still quietly remains. The strongest souls are often built by still growing in the rain. Hey.
Another morning in the city, another race against the clock. People carrying silent battles, hidden behind the way they talk. Crowded trains and glowing windows, coffee cups and tired eyes. Everyone trying to hold together dreams they're scared to leave behind. Some gave up on what they hoped for,
Some forgot what peace feels like. Some are smiling for the cameras while losing themselves inside. But somewhere beyond the pressure, beyond the endless noise, there's a quiet truth still calling to every restless soul and voice. Like rain returning to the earth, like rivers finding seas, there's a purpose moving softly through every season we breathe. Nothing alive grows without waiting. Nothing strong is built overnight. Even stars are born in darkness before they ever touch the sky with light. So if your heart feels exhausted, if the road ahead seems long, remember trees survive the hardest winters by holding deeper roots strong. The world keeps saying faster, but wisdom whispers grow, because the deepest transformations happen slowly down below. Invisible at first, silent in the beginning, like seeds hidden underground, preparing for a new living. Maybe that's where you are now, not buried, just planted, not forgotten, just becoming. The rain never apologizes for falling through difficult days, yet without it fields stay empty and flowers never learn to wake. So don't fear the hard seasons, don't run from honest pain. Some lessons only arrive when hearts walk through the rain. The strongest people are not perfect, they simply refuse to quit. Even when fear fills the room, they still choose light within it. One kind word can save somebody, one moment can shift a life. One decision made with courage can outlive years of endless nights. That's why your voice still matters, that's why your story matters too. The world changes quietly first, inside hearts willing to pursue. Pursue truth over attention, pursue peace over pride, pursue meaning over empty things that disappear with time. Because money cannot heal every wound, and fame cannot calm every fear, but purpose gives strength to keep moving even when the future feels unclear. And maybe your greatest victory will never trend online. Maybe it's simply becoming a source of hope in someone's hardest time. The rain still falls on broken streets, the sunrise still returns, and every soul that keeps believing finds something deeper to learn. Learn how to stand through chaos, learn how to bend without breaking, learn how to carry light even when the whole world is shaking. You don't need to have all answers, you don't need to know every step. Sometimes faith looks like continuing even when you don't see the end yet. One breath at a time, one day at a time. One more reason to keep going can completely change a life. And one day you will look behind at roads you thought would end you, only to realize they prepared you for the future waiting ahead too. The storms did not destroy you, they revealed your hidden strength. The waiting did not erase you, it deepened your perspective and depth. So keep moving with compassion, keep building what is true. The world has enough destruction, it needs more hearts that renew. Hearts that heal instead of harm, hearts that lift instead of blame, hearts that remind the hurting world the sky still knows their name. The world wakes up in a hurry, phones glowing before sunrise, Another day of chasing answers behind exhausted eyes. People scrolling through perfection, trying hard to fit the mold, smiling through silent questions no one ever really told. What if I'm already too late? What if my best days are gone? What if all the roads I trusted were leading somewhere wrong? But rivers don't turn backward, and the dawn still follows night. Even after the darkest hours, the sky remembers light. So breathe through all the pressure, you don't have to carry it alone. Even mountains crack slowly under weights too long unknown. Life was never meant to be a race for empty praise. Some of the strongest souls grow quietly through unseen days, like seeds beneath cold winter, like roots below the stone. Transformation often happens long before it's ever shown. Nothing true is ever wasted, no sincere dream disappears. Every act of love and courage echoes far beyond the years. That message you almost never sent, that kindness you thought went unseen, could become the reason someone still believes in better things. Because people are thirsty now, not just for money or success, but for peace that feels real in a world obsessed with excess. Everybody's looking upward, searching for a clearer view, trying to find direction, trying to find what's true. And maybe truth is simpler than all the noise suggests. Maybe it's learning how to live without losing your soul in the process. Maybe strength is staying gentle in a culture growing cold. Maybe wisdom is protecting the heart more than the gold. The rain still waters empty fields without demanding applause, and the stars still shine faithfully without explaining their cause. Creation keeps moving with purpose, even when nobody sees. The ocean still kisses the shoreline, the wind still dances through trees. So why should you stop believing just because the road got hard? Some journeys take longer cause they're shaping who you are. Pressure creates endurance, and endurance creates vision. Sometimes closed doors protect us from the wrong destination. So if life feels uncertain and tomorrow seems unclear, remember the earth keeps turning, even through seasons of fear. The storms are not forever, the pain is not the end. Some things break apart completely, only so stronger things begin. One day you'll understand why certain dreams had to wait, why some roads disappeared, why timing reshaped your fate. Because rivers don't turn backward, they keep flowing toward the sea. And hearts that keep choosing hope eventually become free. Free from living for opinions, free from fear of failing small, free to walk with deeper purpose instead of proving worth to all. You were made for more than survival, more than simply getting through. There's still a light within you, the world is desperately needing to. A light that keeps forgiving, a light that keeps standing tall, a light that keeps speaking kindness even when darkness surrounds it all. And maybe that is greatness, not fame that fades away, but becoming the kind of person who brings hope into every day. So keep planting truth with patience, keep building what lasts beyond trends. Because every seed rooted deeply will rise again in the end. The rain ocean is near us.
Some nights feel endless, like the world forgot your name. City lights keep flashing, but nothing inside feels the same. People talking without listening, hearts hiding behind routine. Everybody searching for meaning in places it has never been. Screens glow through the midnight, dreams fade under the weight. So many souls surviving while quietly losing faith. But somewhere beyond the chaos, past the noise and fear, there's a deeper voice still calling, soft enough for hearts to hear. Like rain upon dry deserts, like rivers after drought, hope keeps moving silently even when surrounded by doubt. Nothing living grows without seasons, nothing strong escapes the storm. Even broken branches sometimes make space for new life to be born. So if your spirit feels tired, if your vision feels unclear, remember stars shine brightest when the night is deepest here. You are not failing because you're waiting, you are not weak because you've been. Some transformations happen slowly before they finally begin again. Seeds spend time in darkness before reaching toward the sky. And oceans are shaped by rivers that refuse to stop and die. The world may reward appearance, fast success and loud applause, but the strongest foundations are built quietly because truth does not need permission and kindness does not expire. Even the smallest spark of goodness can restart a world on fire. One voice can calm confusion, one hand can lift the weak, one honest heart can change directions for people too tired to speak. That's why your story matters, even when nobody claps. Some of the greatest victories happen far away from maps. Maybe your purpose isn't popularity, maybe it's healing one life at a time. Maybe greatness looks more like compassion than becoming another trend online. Because rain never asks who deserves another chance. It simply falls with mercy, giving dead fields room to dance. And sunrise never refuses to reach forgotten streets. Light keeps showing up faithfully even after defeat. So why should you surrender just because life became hard? Diamonds are formed in pressure, and direction is found through scars. Every tear contains a lesson, every delay can shape the soul. Sometimes losing what distracted you leads you closer to your goal. The road ahead may twist unexpectedly, but rivers still arrive at seas. And people who keep moving forward eventually find peace. Not the shallow kind that fades, not comfort built on lies, but the kind of peace that remains even through uncertain skies. A peace that whispers softly, you are still becoming. A hope that keeps breathing life into hearts that feel like running. Running from disappointment, running from fear and shame. But healing begins the moment you stop hiding from the pain. Because wounds can become wisdom and weakness can become grace. The hardest storms sometimes reveal the strength we could not face. One day you will look behind you at every sleepless night and realize the battles you survived were teaching you how to fight. Not with anger, not with pride, but with courage It's rooted deeply inside. The world needs more than success stories. It needs hearts that remain true. People who still choose kindness when bitterness would be easier to do. So keep planting words of hope, keep building what is real. The future belongs to souls who remember how to heal. And when your strength feels distant, when the road disappears from view, listen closely through the silence. The light is still finding you.
Another day begins in motion, engines roar and people rushing by. Dreams hidden behind tired faces, questions buried deep inside. Everybody wants a breakthrough, everybody wants to rise, but few can see the silent work happening beneath the surface of life. Because roots grow before branches and rivers carve before they shine. The greatest transformations often take more unseen time. Still the world keeps pushing faster, be more, do more, don't fall behind. While exhausted hearts keep wondering if peace is something they'll ever find. But peace was never hiding inside endless competition, and purpose was never built on temporary recognition. Like rain upon forgotten fields, like dawn breaking through the gray, meaning quietly keeps moving even when people lose their way. Nothing true is ever wasted, no sincere act disappears. Every word spoken with compassion echoes through invisible years. The smile you almost didn't give, the call you almost never made, could become the light somebody needed on their darkest day. That's the mystery of kindness. It travels farther than we know, like seeds carried by the wind into places we may never go. So don't measure your worth by numbers on a screen. Some of the most beautiful lives are never loudly seen. The stars do not compete for attention, yet they still illuminate the night. And oceans never ask permission before reflecting morning light. Creation keeps teaching quietly that lasting things move slow. Trees don't apologize for winter, they trust the season and grow. Maybe you need that reminder right here, right now. You are not behind in life, even if it feels somehow. Maybe your roots are deepening, maybe your vision is forming, maybe the silence you fear is preparing your becoming. Because storms reveal foundations and pressure reveals the heart. Some endings are not destruction, they are brand new places to start. The road may not look perfect, but rivers still reach the sea, and broken pieces can still become something unexpectedly beautiful to see. So hold on through uncertain nights, hold on through delayed dreams. Not every answer arrives quickly, not everything is what it seems. Some doors close for protection, some waiting seasons heal. real hope that survives the dark, the kind no trend can imitate, and no fear can fully stop. The world is hungry for honesty, for voices steady and kind, for people who still carry light in distracted and divided times. Be one of those rare souls who builds instead of tears apart, who listens before speaking, who leads with a human heart, because the future remembers people who chose compassion over pride, who stayed gentle in hard seasons and kept truth alive inside. And one day you will understand why the journey took so long. The rain was growing hidden strength, the waiting was making you strong. Every unseen act mattered, every quiet choice was real. The seeds you thought were forgotten were slowly becoming fields. Fields of wisdom, fields of healing, fields of courage after pain. Proof that nothing planted deeply ever grows in vain. So keep moving with vision, keep speaking words that renew. Even when you cannot see the harvest, the seeds are still growing through oars. Some people wake up smiling, some wake up fighting fear, some carry silent memories they never let anyone hear. The city keeps moving quickly, cars and colors blur together. Everybody's searching for sunshine while trying to survive rough weather. Dreams get delayed by pressure, hearts grow tired from pretending, and sometimes even strong people feel close to breaking and bending. But rain has never asked permission before touching the earth below, and somehow every storm arrives to help something deeper grow. The tallest forest in history once disappeared beneath the ground, invisible to every eye, completely silent without sound. Still they kept becoming, still they reached for light, not because the road was easy, but because life kept whispering, fight. Fight for what is honest, fight for what is true, fight for the part inside yourself that still believes you can make it through. Because the world may reward appearances, fast success and perfect lines, but real strength is often hidden inside the soul and mind. It's found in people who stay kind after being hurt too much, people who still choose compassion when life has made them tough, people who keep showing up even when nobody sees, like rivers flowing faithfully toward distant unseen seas. Nothing meaningful is ever wasted, no good thing disappears. Every act of courage planted lives beyond the years. One gentle word can shift a future, one honest heart can heal one person. Refusing bitterness can remind the world what's real. That's why your life still matters, even in ordinary days. The smallest light in darkness can guide somebody through the haze. And maybe you don't realize how close you are right now to the moment all your hidden growth finally rises somehow. Because seeds break open quietly before flowers touch the air. Transformation often begins in places hidden deep somewhere. So don't hate your slow seasons, don't fear the waiting time. Even the moon goes through phases. pain you thought would destroy you may become your strongest voice. The losses you never wanted may lead you toward better choices. Not every closed door is punishment. Not every delay means no. Sometimes life protects the future by slowing where we go. Like rain softening hard soil before new roots appear. Some storms are preparing blessings, even when the skies aren't clear. So breathe through the uncertainty, walk forward without seeing all. Mountains are climbed step by step, not in one sudden call. And if you feel forgotten, look up at the morning sky. The sunrise still reaches every window without asking who or why. Light keeps arriving faithfully, even after endless nights. That's how hope survives the darkness, by continuing to rise. The world doesn't need more noise, it needs more hearts awake, more souls willing to build instead of only criticize and take. People who still value truth, people who still choose grace, people who leave kindness behind in every single place. Be that kind of person, even when it feels rare, because healing always begins with someone deciding to care. And one day you will look behind you at every storm you survived and realize the rain that nearly broke you was the same rain that kept you alive. Built your patience, built your vision, built the courage you now carry inside. The strongest souls are often formed where tears and hope collide. So keep planting dreams with faith, keep speaking life through pain. The future belongs to hearts still willing to dance in the rain. Morning arrives with sirens and traffic, another fast beginning again. People carry invisible stories hidden beneath their skin. Some are chasing distant success, some are trying just to survive. Some are smiling in crowded places while barely feeling alive. The world keeps shouting louder, be stronger, faster, more. But exhausted hearts keep wondering what they are even running for. Because money can fill the schedule, but not every empty space. And applause can echo loudly without bringing peace or grace. Still somewhere beyond the chaos, beyond the fear and noise, there's a deeper rhythm moving, calling tired hearts and souls. Like rain returning to dry lands, like rivers finding oceans wide. Purpose keeps flowing faithfully, even when hope feels denied. Nothing planted with sincerity ever truly disappears. Every kind word spoken softly travels farther through the years. A message sent at midnight, a hand reaching through pain, could become the reason someone chooses to stand again. That's the power hidden quietly inside ordinary days. The smallest acts of goodness can completely change a way, but people often miss it, searching for brighter things, while peace keeps growing silently. Like forests in the spring. You don't need to become famous to become a guiding light. Some stars are never noticed, yet they still shine through the night. And maybe your greatest purpose is not what the world expects. Maybe it's healing broken places through simple human respect. Listening when others interrupt, lifting when others blame, choosing mercy over anger again and again and again. Because bitterness spreads quickly, but kindness travels deep, and truth survives much longer than temporary things we keep. The rain never falls backward, it keeps moving toward the sea. And hearts that keep moving forward eventually become free. Free from endless comparison, free from fear of messing up, free from living for opinions that change with every crowd. The strongest souls stay grounded, even when storms appear. They bend without completely breaking, because their roots hold deeper here. So if your life feels uncertain, if the road ahead looks dim, remember every sunrise begins before the horizon fully brightens. You are not failing because you're growing slowly. You are not weak because you need rest. Even rivers pause in stillness before continuing their quest. Growth is not always visible. Healing is not always loud. Sometimes the greatest breakthroughs happen far away from the crowd, in silent rooms, in lonely prayers of the heart, in moments where nobody notices. A brand new life can start. That's why hope still matters. That's why truth still remains. Because even after destruction, flowers rise again through rain. And maybe the tears you carry are watering unseen ground, preparing strength and wisdom that later will surround your future with compassion. Surround your voice with light. Turn your scars into direction for someone else lost in the night. The world doesn't need perfection, it needs people brave enough to care. People willing to stay gentle in a world growing cold everywhere. So keep speaking life with courage, keep building what is true. The future is quietly waiting for hearts willing to renew. And when your spirit feels exhausted, when tomorrow feels uncertain again, listen closely to the rainfall. The earth is still becoming. The rivers are still flowing. The dawn is still on the way. And every seed planted in truth will bloom someday. There are nights when the silence feels heavier than all the noise in the streets below. People staring out from apartment windows, wondering where their lost dreams go. The city keeps glowing endlessly, but some hearts still feel dark inside. Smiles covering quiet battles, tears people try their best to hide. Everybody wants a breakthrough, everybody wants relief, Something stronger than distraction, something deeper than belief. Because temporary things fade quickly, trends disappear like passing waves, but truth keeps standing through the storms, and hope still rises from the graves. Like rain falling over dry valleys, like rivers carving stone with time. Purpose moves with patient power, even when the road feels hard to climb. Nothing planted with compassion ever disappears in vain. The smallest seed of kindness can survive through wind and rain. One voice can calm confusion, one life can inspire change. One honest heart still shining can help the lost find their way again. That's why your story matters, even if the world moves fast. The things built deeply in the soul are the things that truly last. Not fame that fades tomorrow, not applause that disappears, but the courage to keep loving through disappointment and fear. The world teaches endless rushing, move faster, achieve more now. But rivers reach the ocean slowly, without forgetting where or how. Trees don't force themselves to grow overnight. Mountains don't fear the passing storm. And even after brutal winters, spring quietly returns warm. Maybe you need that reminder. Maybe your heart feels tired today. Maybe you've been carrying burdens too heavy along the way. Still the sky has not forgotten you, and the dawn still knows your name. Even broken roads can lead somewhere, even loss can become gain. Because some endings are beginnings, wearing unfamiliar clothes. And some storms arrive not to destroy, but to help hidden strength unfold. Diamonds are shaped under pressure, and wisdom is shaped through pain. The deepest roots grow strongest after seasons without rain. So don't despise your waiting, don't hate the slower pace. Some things take longer because they are meant to carry weight. The future is not built instantly, it rises piece by piece. One decision toward kindness, one moment choosing peace. And though the world feels divided, there is still light breaking through. Every time a person chooses to become honest and true. Truth spoken gently still matters. Mercy still changes lives. Compassion is still powerful, even in the hardest times. The rain never asks who deserves it. The sunrise never picks a side. They simply keep showing up faithfully, again and again. Worldwide, what if people learned from that? What if hearts became the same? Giving hope without condition, lifting others without needing fame. Maybe healing starts there, in ordinary human hands, and choosing to become a bridge instead of building walls again. The strongest people are not the loudest, they are the ones who remain kind. Even after disappointment, even after losing time. People who still carry light into rooms filled with despair. People who remind the hurting that someone still cares. And maybe that's true greatness, not becoming known everywhere, but becoming the kind of soul who leaves peace in the air. So keep planting dreams in silence, keep moving through uncertain tides. 'Cause every drop becomes the ocean when it refuses to stop its rise. The rain is still writing stories, the earth is still learning to bloom, and every heart rooted in truth will find beauty beyond the gloom before us. The morning comes with restless voices, headlines moving faster every day, people searching for direction while the world keeps pulling them away. Some are drowning in comparison, some are hiding silent pain, some keep smiling through exhaustion, trying hard to look okay. Crowded rooms can still feel lonely, bright screens can still feel cold, and hearts can slowly lose their fire, chasing things that never satisfy the soul. But somewhere beyond the pressure, beyond the noise and endless race, there's a deeper kind of wisdom still calling the human heart to wake. Like rain touching thirsty gardens, like rivers shaping ancient stone, purpose works through quiet moments long before the growth is shown. Nothing rooted in compassion ever truly fades away. Every word that heals another lives beyond a single day. A small act of kindness matters, a gentle voice can calm the fear. One honest light still shining can change the atmosphere. That's how healing slowly travels, that's how broken hearts repair. Not always through loud miracles, but through people choosing care. The world keeps teaching speed, move faster, climb higher, win. But peace was never waiting at the end of endless striving. Even the stars move slowly, yet still illuminate the skies, and oceans reach every shoreline without needing to compete or fight. Creation keeps reminding us that lasting things take time. Roots grow deeper underground before branches ever climb. So if your journey feels delayed, if your dreams feel far away, remember mountains are not formed in only one short day. Storms are not forever, and neither is the pain. Some seasons come to strengthen roots, some lessons only arrive through rain. You are not forgotten in the wait, and you are not invisible in the crowd. Some of the strongest souls in history were built quietly, not loud. People who stayed kind through hardship, people who stood for what was true, people who kept bringing hope when the whole world felt confused. That kind of courage still matters, the kind of light still leads, because darkness grows quickly where nobody plants good seeds. So plant words that heal people, plant truth where fear has grown, plant hope inside tired hearts that feel abandoned and alone. You may never fully realize how far your influence goes. A single spark in darkness can become the fire people need most. One person choosing mercy can stop another chain of hate. One soul refusing bitterness can completely shift a fate. That's why your choices matter, even in ordinary time. The future is built slowly through everyday human lives. Not only by famous voices, not only by wealth or fame, but by hearts that keep showing kindness again and again and again. The rain never falls without purpose, and rivers never lose their way. Even after miles of wandering, they still reach the ocean someday. So don't surrender to hopelessness, don't let fear decide your path. The sunrise still returns faithfully after every night that passed. There is still beauty worth protecting, still goodness worth fighting for, still dreams waiting beyond the storm, still open unseen doors. And maybe your greatest purpose is simply this right now, to become a steady light for someone forgetting how to believe again, how to breathe through pain, how to trust tomorrow after dancing too long in the rain. The world doesn't only need success, it needs hearts brave enough to care, people willing to carry peace into the heaviness everywhere. So keep moving with compassion, keep building what remains true, because even in a tired world, the light still begins with you.
Somewhere under midnight windows, a tired soul is still awake, wondering if the dreams once carried were simply too much to chase. The city breathes in restless rhythms, traffic fading into rain, people trying to hold together, hearts worn down by hidden pain. Everybody wants a clear direction, a sign that hope is still alive, something stronger than confusion, something real enough to survive. Because the world can feel uncertain, like shifting shadows in the dark, and even strong hearts sometimes forget how bright they truly are. But rain does not stop falling just because the earth feels dry, and rivers do not lose their purpose when mountains stand high. They keep moving, keep carving, keep finding unseen ways through stone, teaching every searching spirit you are never walking alone. Nothing honest is ever wasted, no kind word disappears, every moment filled with compassion echoes through the years. The smallest light still matters, even in the deepest night. One candle can begin a fire, one sunrise can restore sight. So if your path feels broken, if your plans have come undone, remember even shattered pieces can reflect the morning sun. Some roads close to protect you, some delays reshape your soul, some storms arrive to clear away what was never meant to grow. That pain you tried to outrun may become your deepest strength, and the tears you thought were weakness may give your heart new depth. Because roots grow strongest quietly, far beneath what eyes can see, and oceans are formed by rivers that refuse to stop believing in the sea. The world keeps praising quick success, fast results, and endless speed, but lasting peace is usually found in learning what we truly need. Not more noise, not more pressure, not another temporary high, but truth that still remains steady when every distraction passes by. A truth that teaches patience, a hope that survives the storm, a vision strong enough to guide us when life no longer feels warm. Maybe that's why the sunrise never rushes into view. It arrives at the perfect moment, quietly breaking through. And maybe your story is the same, still unfolding day by day, not forgotten in the darkness, just learning how to find its way. So breathe through the uncertainty, walk forward even when afraid. Mountains are
choosing kindness after heartbreak, and standing up after defeat, and protecting a gentle spirit inside a world that can be harsh and weak. That is real courage, that is lasting power, to remain full of compassion in humanity's hardest hour. The future still belongs to people who build instead of destroy, who carry peace into division, who bring healing into noise, people who still listen deeply, people who still choose grace, people who become safe harbors in a world constantly changing pace. And maybe you are becoming one, even now through every scar. Every storm has been preparing the strength hidden in your heart. So don't fear the broken roads, sometimes they lead where straight roads can't. The rain keeps feeding unseen gardens, even in forgotten lands. One day you'll look behind you and finally understand why the hardest seasons taught you how to rise and still stand. Because nothing planted with purpose ever truly fades away, and every soul that keeps choosing light will find the dawn someday. There are days when the earth feels heavy, like the air itself forgot to breathe. People walking through crowded streets, carrying invisible grief. Some are fighting silent battles, some are hiding shattered dreams, some are smiling through exhaustion while falling apart unseen. The clocks keep moving forward, but many hearts stay stuck behind, replaying old disappointments, trying to outrun their minds. Still somewhere beyond the chaos, past the fear and endless noise, a quiet truth keeps rising, calling out to restless souls and voices. Like rain returning to dry earth, like rivers searching for the sea. Purpose keeps moving forward, even when no one can see. Nothing rooted deeply in truth ever disappears in vain. The strongest forests are often born after years of wind and rain. So if your life feels uncertain, if your strength feels almost gone, remember even the darkest nights eventually give way to dawn. The sunrise never forgets the horizon, no matter how long the storm remains, and hope keeps rebuilding quietly inside hearts that endure pain. You were never meant to surrender to bitterness, fear, or despair. There is still a light within you, the world is waiting to share. Not the kind of light that blinds people, not pride demanding attention loud, but a steady glow of compassion that stands strong without the crowd. Because real strength is staying gentle when anger would be easier. Real courage is choosing kindness when disappointment grows heavier. The world has enough destruction, enough division and blame. What it needs are people who speak with honesty, people who listen with care, people who become safe places for hurting hearts everywhere. That kind of love changes futures, that kind of grace heals pain. Even the smallest seed of goodness can survive the hardest rain. A single word can restore someone, a single act can shift a life, a single moment of understanding can pull a soul back from the night. Never underestimate your presence, never believe your voice is small. The ocean is made from countless drops, and each one matters after all. Maybe your journey feels delayed now, maybe your road still twists ahead, but rivers do not stop flowing just because the path has bent. They carve through mountains patiently, they keep moving toward the blue, teaching every searching heart that persistence carries people through. And maybe your scars are not failures, maybe they are maps of survival, proof that even broken hearts can still rise stronger after trials. Because storms do not last forever, though they sometimes feel endless here, and winter never stops springtime from slowly reappearing near. So hold on through the waiting, hold on when answers seem far away. Some miracles arrive quietly, one ordinary step each day. A new beginning after heartbreak, a calm breath after fear, a small spark returning softly after disappearing for years. That is how healing often happens, not loudly, but deep inside, like roots growing under frozen ground, preparing for the coming light. The future still belongs to dreamers who refuse to become cold, who still believe in goodness even when the world feels old. So keep walking with compassion, keep building what is true. The rain is not your ending, it is shaping something new. So keep walking with compassion, past the fear and endless noise. A quiet truth keeps rising, calling out to restless souls and voices. Like rain returning to dry earth, like rivers searching for the sea. Purpose keeps moving forward even when no one can see. There are days when the world feels heavy, like the air itself forgot to fading slow, and every heart was running on empty roads. A quiet voice rose through the noise, not with power, not with pride, but with trust that crossed the night. Some people build with walls so high, some people hide behind their names, but the strongest soul in the room was the one who chose compassion over fame. You don't need to see the mountain move to believe the morning's coming soon. Sometimes hope begins with one sincere word spoken into the dark. Even when the distance feels too far, even when your strength is falling apart, there is a way through the silence, a light beyond the pressure, a truth stronger than fear. We are searching for something real, more than money, more than temporary thrills, a reason to keep walking when the world says stop. And maybe the answer was never loud at all. Maybe it lives inside humility, inside kindness, inside believing before seeing. I've seen tired people rise again, broken dreams begin to breathe again. I've seen small acts of love outshine entire cities, like stars waking up the sky. So hold on, your story is not over, the storm is not your ending. There's still beauty ahead, still purpose in your steps, still strength inside your soul. The road may twist, the night may linger, but truth keeps calling your name. Forward, higher, closer to the life you were meant to live. No crown, no spotlight, no perfect past required, just an open heart, a willing spirit, and courage to trust the unseen road. Some victories happen quietly, a healed heart, a restored dream, a second chance, a new direction, a peaceful mind after years of chaos. Maybe the greatest power is not control, but compassion, not status, but sincerity, not being first, but lifting others when they fall. So when the pressure grows heavy and the world feels cold, remember this moment. You were never created to live without hope. There's still a future waiting, still a door opening, still a reason to rise tomorrow, even now, especially now. Let your heart breathe again, let your vision grow again, let your soul believe again, because impossible roads have changed before, and they can change for you too. In the middle of crowded streets, under silver towers and sleepless dreams, people keep running faster every day, searching for peace they cannot explain. Some wear success like shining armor. Some hide their pain behind a smile. Some keep fighting silent battles for years and years, without anyone noticing. But somewhere beyond the noise, beyond the pressure to be perfect, there is a deeper kind of strength, quiet, steady, unshaken by the storm. Not every miracle arrives like thunder. Sometimes it enters softly, like hope returning after a long winter, like breathing again after carrying too much for too long. I met souls who lost their direction, who thought the night would never end. Yet one moment of truth, one act of kindness, changed the entire course of their lives. Because real power is not always loud. Sometimes real power is choosing love over pride, patience over anger, faith over fear. There are voices in this world trying to convince us that we are only numbers, only achievements, only temporary shadows passing through time. But deep inside, every heart knows we were made for more than surviving, more than endless comparison, more than empty applause. We were made to heal, to grow, to lift each other higher. And when the road becomes uncertain, when answers disappear, when strength feels impossible to find, there is still a reason to keep taking one more step. Even the smallest spark can overcome an endless night. Even the weakest voice can awaken sleeping dreams. So do not underestimate the quiet moments, the unseen battles, the gentle words, the invisible courage that keeps you moving forward. Somebody out there needed your kindness today, needed your patience, needed your light, without even realizing it. Maybe changing the world does not begin with greatness. Maybe it begins with sincerity, with listening, with standing beside someone when everyone else walks away. I have seen hearts rebuilt from ashes, seen broken people become leaders, seen exhausted souls discover purpose again. Not because life became easy, but because they refused to stop believing. And maybe that is the secret the world keeps forgetting. Hope is stronger than fear, truth is stronger than confusion, compassion is stronger than pride, and light always travels farther than darkness. So breathe deeply tonight. Your story still matters, your future still exists, your dreams are still alive, even if they feel distant now. There is still beauty ahead of you, still wisdom waiting. pressure you carry today will not define your tomorrow. The pain you survived did not come to destroy you. It came to shape a stronger heart. One day you will look back and realize the hardest seasons were preparing you for a greater purpose than you could imagine. So keep walking, even slowly, even imperfectly, even with trembling hands. Because every sunrise begins in darkness first. And somewhere ahead, past the fear, past the waiting, past the uncertainty, a new beginning is already searching for you. Lighting.
The world keeps spinning fast, neon nights and endless scrolling screens. Everybody searching, everybody reaching for something they cannot fully name. Some chase gold through crowded cities, some chase dreams across oceans wide, some hide tears behind perfect pictures while carrying storms deep inside. But every soul eventually asks, is there more than this? More than the pressure, more than the race, more than pretending to be okay. And somewhere in the silence, a gentle truth still whispers, you were never meant to walk this life alone. Even the strongest hearts grow tired, even bright minds lose direction sometimes. Even brave people need hope when the road becomes uncertain. I have seen strangers become family, seen kindness rescue broken days, seen impossible moments change, 'cause someone chose compassion instead of turning away. Maybe the greatest strength is not standing above others. Maybe it is lifting them higher when they no longer believe in themselves. There is a power in humility, a wisdom in quiet faith, a beauty in choosing peace inside a world addicted to noise. And though the future feels unclear, though fear speaks loudly at night, there is still a light ahead, still a reason to rise again. No failure can erase your value, no mistake can cancel your purpose, no darkness can permanently silence a heart created to shine. The mountain may look endless, the distance may feel impossible, but step by step, breath by breath, the impossible begins to move. Some victories happen unseen, a healed memory, a calmer mind, a decision not to give up. One more sunrise survived, that is strength too. And maybe the people changing the world are not always famous names. Maybe they are ordinary souls, choosing honesty, choosing courage, choosing love in small everyday moments. The mother working through exhaustion, the friend answering late night calls, the dreamer refusing to quit, the tired soul still trying again. These are the quiet heroes holding the world together. So if your heart feels heavy tonight, if your path feels uncertain, if your strength feels smaller than your struggles, listen closely. You are still growing, still becoming, still moving towards something beautiful. The chapters filled with pain will not be the final pages. The seasons of waiting will not last forever. Because storms eventually pass, wounds slowly heal, and hope has a way of returning when least expected. One day the tears will make sense. One day the pressure will become wisdom. One day the broken pieces will build a stronger soul. So keep believing, even when results are invisible. Keep walking, even when progress feels slow. Keep dreaming, even when the world doubts you. The future does not belong to those who never struggle. It belongs to those who refuse to stop rising. And somewhere beyond this night, beyond the fear, beyond the uncertainty, a brighter road is already unfolding before you. Every morning the sun still rises, even after the darkest nights, even after silent tears, even after dreams fell apart. The light still finds its way back. Maybe that is life, not perfection, not endless victory, but learning how to rise again with scars that became wisdom. People walk through crowded streets, carrying invisible battles, smiling in public while fighting storms within, hoping someone will understand. Some lost their direction years ago, some buried their dreams too early, some became tired of believing because disappointment visited too many times. But deep inside every soul there remains a small unbroken flame, quietly waiting for one reason to burn brightly again. The world teaches us to compete, to become louder, faster, bigger, but real greatness often moves silently. Like the hand that helps without attention, like the voice that speaks truth gently, like the person who stays when everyone else disappears. There is power in kindness, there is strength in humility, there is courage in patience, and there is healing in choosing hope again. Not every answer comes immediately, not every road opens overnight. Some journeys require trust long before results appear. Yet somehow the impossible keeps happening. Broken hearts recover, lost people find direction, closed doors unexpectedly open, and exhausted souls learn to breathe again. So maybe the future is not as hopeless as it seems. Maybe the delay was preparing something deeper. Maybe the struggle was shaping hidden strength, because diamonds are formed under pressure, and the strongest trees survive powerful winds. You may feel unseen now, you may feel forgotten, but your story still carries purpose. Every step matters, every choice matters, every moment you refuse to quit matters more than you realize. There are people watching your courage, learning from your endurance, finding hope through your persistence, even if they never say it aloud. One honest life can inspire thousands, and perhaps the world changes not through fame alone,
but through ordinary people who continue choosing goodness when bitterness would be easier. The future belongs to hearts that remain sincere, to souls that keep believing, to dreamers who continue building even after failure. So breathe deeply tonight, release the fear slowly. You do not need to carry tomorrow alone. The road ahead may still twist, but light travels farther than darkness. Truth survives longer than confusion, and hope remains stronger than despair. One day, the season you survived will become someone else's inspiration. One day, the pain you endured will transform into wisdom. One day, you will realize you were becoming stronger during every difficult moment. So do not stop now. Your next chapter could be more beautiful than anything behind you. The sky is still wide open, the future is still unwritten, and your greatest days may still be waiting ahead. There was a time when silence felt heavier than words, when every night stretched endlessly and every dream seemed far away. The city kept moving fast, lights flashing across restless streets, people chasing tomorrow without knowing what their hearts truly needed. Some were rich in appearance but empty inside. Some laughed loudly in crowds, yet cried quietly alone. Because deep down, every soul is searching for peace that lasts, for truth that stays, for hope that does not disappear with the morning. And maybe real strength was never about standing alone. Maybe real strength is trusting that better days can still arrive, even after disappointment. I have seen tired hearts awaken again, seen broken people rebuild their lives, seen impossible doors open suddenly at the exact moment hope almost faded. Life has a strange way of surprising those who refuse to give up. The storm may last long, but no storm lasts forever. Beyond every dark horizon, a new sunrise waits patiently. Beyond every painful season, a deeper wisdom quietly grows. So do not measure your future by your current struggle. A seed beneath the ground looks invisible before it becomes a forest. And some of the strongest souls were shaped in hidden places, far from applause, far from recognition, far from easy roads. The world teaches us to value power and attention, but some of the most beautiful people carry quiet hearts, gentle hands, and honest intentions. They listen, they encourage, they remain kind, even after life wounded them deeply. That is rare strength. Not everyone will understand your journey, not everyone will believe in your vision, but truth does not require approval, and purpose does not disappear because others fail to see it. Keep building anyway, keep learning, keep growing, keep becoming, even slowly. One small step each day can eventually change an entire life. control your future forever. There is still beauty ahead, still meaning inside the struggle, still hidden opportunities waiting beyond this season. Maybe this moment is preparing you for something greater than comfort could ever create. Because courage is not born on easy roads. It rises in difficult nights when the heart decides to keep moving forward anyway. And somewhere right now, another person is surviving, because your story inspired them. Another dream is growing, because you refuse to quit. Never underestimate the impact of quiet perseverance. The world changes slowly through ordinary people who continue choosing hope when hopelessness feels easier. So lift your eyes again. The future is still calling. Your purpose is still alive, and your journey is far from over. One day, the confusion will become clarity, the waiting will become wisdom, and the pain will become strength. Until then, keep walking forward, keep speaking life, keep believing light is stronger. Because even the smallest flame can guide someone through the darkest night. Somewhere tonight, under the endless glow of city skies, a tired soul is staring out the window, wondering if tomorrow will finally feel different. The world moves quickly, too quickly sometimes. Dreams get delayed, hearts get discouraged, and people slowly forget how valuable they truly are. We wake up chasing deadlines, running through pressure, trying to stay strong, while carrying invisible weight. And still, deep inside every person lives a quiet hope that refuses to disappear completely. A hope for peace, a hope for purpose, a hope that life can become more beautiful again. Maybe that hope is stronger than we realize, because even after heartbreak, people still learn to love again. Even after failure, people still rise again. Even after darkness, the morning still arrives. That is the mystery of resilience. The strongest people are not those who never fall, but those who continue forward even while healing. I have seen exhausted hearts become sources of encouragement. I have seen wounded souls become lights for others. I have seen impossible moments turn into unexpected beginnings, not because life was easy, but because someone chose to keep believing. The world often celebrates noise, fame, attention, control, but some of the greatest victories happen quietly, a calm mind after anxiety, a gentle response instead of anger, a second chance accepted, a broken relationship restored, a dream rebuilt slowly over time. These moments matter deeply, and maybe true greatness is not measured by popularity. Maybe it is measured by how much hope you leave behind in others. Some people enter a room and bring pressure, others bring peace. Be the kind of soul that reminds people life is still worth believing in, because the future needs more compassion, more honesty, more courage, more people willing to help without expecting applause. No one survives alone. Every kind word matters. Every act of patience matters. Every moment of sincerity creates ripples farther than we can see. So if you feel unseen tonight, if your efforts feel unnoticed, if your heart feels weary, do not stop now. Some seeds grow underground long before anyone notices the flowers. Your growth may feel invisible today, but invisible does not mean meaningless. The struggle is shaping wisdom. The waiting is shaping endurance. The pressure is shaping strength, and one day you will understand why certain roads took longer. Because some journeys prepare the soul for greater things ahead. Do not fear slow progress. Mountains are climbed one step at a time. Do not fear difficult seasons. Even winter prepares the earth for future growth. And do not fear uncertainty. Some of the most beautiful chapters begin without clear answers. So breathe again, dream again, trust again. The story is not ending here. There are still people to inspire, still places to go, still beauty left to discover, still light waiting beyond the horizon. And somewhere beyond this moment, a future filled with deeper peace, greater purpose, and unexpected joy is already moving toward you. Be. Late at night, when the world finally grows quiet and the noise of the day fades away, 1,000 thoughts begin to speak. Questions about the future, questions about purpose, questions no crowded room can answer. People smile through exhaustion, keep moving through uncertainty, pretending to be fearless, while silently hoping that life still holds something greater ahead. The truth is, almost everyone is carrying something heavy. A memory they cannot forget, a dream they almost abandoned, a fear they never say aloud, a battle hidden behind ordinary conversations. Yet somehow, the human heart keeps searching for light. Even after disappointment, even after betrayal, even after doors close unexpectedly, there remains a small voice whispering, "Keep going. Your story is not finished yet. And maybe that quiet voice is more powerful than all the chaos surrounding us. Because history was never changed, only by strength or status. Sometimes it was changed by ordinary people who refused to stop believing. The world teaches us to chase attention, to compare constantly, to measure worth by success. But real value cannot be measured by numbers alone. Some of the richest souls own very little, yet carry peace everywhere they go. Some of the strongest people cry quietly at night and still wake up, ready to help others the next morning. That is courage, not perfection, not control, but choosing hope even while healing. I have seen impossible moments happen right after someone almost gave up. A new opportunity, an unexpected friendship, a restored dream, a breakthrough after years of waiting. Life changes suddenly sometimes. One moment everything feels lost. The next moment, a single conversation, a single act of kindness changes an entire direction. So never underestimate the power of one sincere heart. Kindness travels farther than we imagine. Truth lasts longer than temporary trends, and compassion heals wounds that money never could. The future belongs to people who stay genuine, to hearts that remain humble, to dreamers who continue building, even when nobody notices yet. Maybe your greatest season has not arrived yet. Maybe the delay was preparation, because some souls need time to grow strong enough to carry the future waiting for them. Do not fear slow seasons. Do not fear hidden seasons. Roots grow deeply underground before trees ever touch the sky. And maybe right now, while you feel uncertain, your life is quietly becoming something stronger, something wiser, something far more beautiful than you can currently see. So lift your eyes again. The pressure is temporary. The storm will pass, and your heart still carries purpose. There are still dreams worth chasing, still people needing your encouragement, still opportunities beyond this chapter. One day, you will look back at this season and realize you survived moments you once thought would break you. And instead of destroying you, they transformed you into someone who understands pain deeply, yet still chooses kindness, who understands struggle fully, yet still believes in hope. That kind of soul can change the world. So keep walking forward, even if the steps feel small, even if the answers feel distant, because somewhere ahead, beyond the waiting, beyond the uncertainty, temperature is already beginning to rise higher.